Now funding on Kickstarter a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja. So this is a pretty interesting article coming from the Hollywood Reporter. And it sounds like they're saying a lot of things that we've been saying, that Hollywood needs to pivot back to profit. And if that makes certain people angry or upset, tough shit.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So this is an article titled "Bring Back the Hollywood Assholes." Talking about how we need leadership in Hollywood to make tough choices and tough decisions and only greenlight successes and or try to find new talent, new voices, whatever, and sticking to their guns. And
instead of coddling the creatives and stuff. That's basically what the article was about. I read it. It was really good.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because this is coming up in light of, everything that's going on with Paramount and Warner Brothers right now. That, look, I think there are some legitimate concerns about job loss and consolidation, but the thing is that Warner Brothers is not able to stand on its own. It's got to be sold to somebody. If it's not Paramount, it's going to be somebody else. But I also think the Ellisons, once this happens, if this happens, they're going to be Hollywood assholes and they're going to make those tough decisions. They already are. And the reality is that Hollywood has been subsidized for a very long time. It's not profitable. We're seeing this across the board that all these media companies are laying people off because they're like, yeah, we're paying out more in salaries than we're bringing in. And that's not going to work.
They keep greenlighting stuff that was not going to go.
No, because they felt like I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the asshole because they'll think I'm a racist, bigoted, misogynist, homophobe, transphobe if I don't greenlight this, $200 million fanfic. And we're seeing it all over the place. Video games and Hollywood and comic books and animation, that all these projects were greenlit because nobody was asshole enough to say, yeah, there's no way this is going to make money. There's no way.
Bring back the assholes.
I'll be the asshole. I'll go in.
You usually are.
I usually am. And I admit it. I freely admit to being an asshole. But, the thing about assholes, and I said this the other day on X, is at least you know where you stand. With nice guys, nice people, a lot of times they're hiding that knife behind their back. They're hiding it behind a smile, and you don't know when they're going to stick it in. At least with me, if I don't like you, I'll tell you I don't like you.
I just think it's funny that these three are the ones going after this merger, but they're all doing stuff for Disney.
Exactly.
But they were okay with Disney.
Wouldn't it be ironic if Paramount and Disney merged at some point? Yeah, it does kind of feel like they're being. This is Alan Cumming, who plays Nightcrawler.
He's like a freaking old bitchy grandma. Like an uptight grandma.
Benedict Cumberbatch and the guy plays Wong, right? Yeah.
His last name is Wong.
Wait. The guy plays Wong is named Wong? I didn't know that.
Yeah, his last name's actually Wong.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's really confusing. So we have Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange. I never caught that. And then Benedict Wong playing Wong.
Yeah, his last name is Wong. I knew that.
Okay. All right. Well, it makes it easier on set. I guess it's kind of like, Home Improvement.
Wong, get over here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Home Improvement. I always wondered sometimes when some of these old shows and they had kid actors and the kid actor's name would be the same as the character. Did they just name the character after the kid so the kid wouldn't get confused and they called his name? I don't know.
They might have. Sometimes when you're little kids, probably.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, let's talk about this and assholes. And see, I am an asshole in Hollywood. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Listen to the audio version of us out on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. We are there. Subscribe over there. Give us a star. That would help. I guess that's how it works over there. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, before we get into the big asshole argument, let's talk about these guys here. These three guys apparently are going to open a portal or something to stop the merger. I don't think that's going to happen. And it's weird because they're not exactly Cumberbatch even isn't an A-lister. It's
just funny. They're saying in plain English, it means redundancies. Yeah, that happens with any combination of company across the board. Cancel productions already been happening because of your idiotic strikes in 2023. Fewer films commissioned, which was already happening because of your idiotic strikes from 2023, and fewer risks taken. I would argue there's going to be more risks taken to stay competitive, so you don't get gobbled up by somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, these companies are going to have to pivot to profit, and they're going to have to produce stuff that people actually want to go see, right? So Alan Cumming, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Benedict Wong have written an op-ed opposing the $110 billion Paramount-Warner merger, urging their local leaders to block the deal. Their Guardian guest column out on Monday, entitled "A TV and Cinema Calamity Could Be Disastrous for What You Watch and What You Know. Act Now to Stop That."
Okay, again, I want to point out they're trying to put it in there, and because overseas and stuff, they're sending it to the UK.
Right.
The UK, who doesn't isn't Paramount. This is a US thing. Yeah, they do things with streaming and stuff over there, but this is a United States thing. So one, fuck off. Two, I'm just like, what do you think is going to happen? And they have no problem working for Disney, who did the same thing and has the biggest market share of the theatrical. Oh no, guys, there might be more competition, and some of these celebrities might only get $11 million instead of 12 they usually get for a film. Oh, and the rest of us poor people are supposed to be like, that's right, stick it to the man, Benedict. Go do it, Ben.
So what's weird about this, though, is that part of the reason Hollywood is hurting now is that the UK tax credits have incentivized Hollywood productions to move overseas.
Right. So it affects them in that regard. But, it's not like it's a UK company. They're writing this thing to try to tell them to do what they can in the UK to block it. And then the UK, though, if you do that, are they going to come to see you anymore to film films there?
I know, right?
Are other studios going to do that because UK could just step in and block their stuff?
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
All right. So, they're going to intervene. Now, it's sailed through the EU. Now, where things are at currently is they're delaying the process because of a lawsuit from multiple state governors in the U.S. And apparently the UK is another hurdle, but the EU said they didn't see any issue with it as long as they didn't mess with the film theatrical distribution or something like that. But this is what they said. They said, as actors and public figures who have spent our careers in the arts in Britain, working with British crews on British stages and sets, we have a responsibility to the public who support, enjoy, and consume the art we make. You're in X-Men until you're 90.
But you're in all these films that are based in the United States.
In the United States. You have to fake a U.S. accent, Benedict, to be Doctor Strange. Did you notice that most of our superheroes are being played by Brits now? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's kind of weird that you stop and think about it. You're like, yeah, this Superman's British, Spider-Man's British, Batman's British, all the Batmen are British except for Michael Keaton. It's kind of weird. So the UK is being threatened by a media merger that would harm our workers, our culture, and the public, but we can stop it.
But you know what? But then the same people in Hollywood are pissed that all the jobs are going over to the UK and want the jobs in Hollywood. You're like sitting there. So basically, you're mad because you're afraid it's going to take jobs away from the UK. Meanwhile, in Hollywood, they've been over there desperately screaming how we need to keep jobs in the stateside because all the American workers are being, left high and dry, where they're all shipped over to the UK. So Potter kettle here about who's the bad guy in this situation.
It's funny. Actors are often told, we're going to talk about assholes in Hollywood. Actors are often told to stay out of legal arguments. We understand the instinct, but we have spent our lives on enough UK sets, worked alongside enough UK crews, and watched enough brilliant work from the UK struggle to find a buyer to know that this is not someone else's argument. It's ours.
Fuck off. Again, let me remind you, you pompous fucktards, that over in Hollywood, a bunch of American workers working for the American studios are without jobs because they keep sending them over to the UK to get fancy tax breaks and all those other shits over there because it's cheaper for them to send it over to you guys. And now you're going to sit here and say, the poor UK. It's like, kindly fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
it's crazy because this reminds me of Tropic Thunder, like these actors that just say things but have no idea why they're saying these things or what's actually going on.
I'm just like, meanwhile, there are people in Hollywood, like the below the line workers and the people that are the craftspeople in Hollywood are really, really pissed because all the jobs are going to the UK. And then you have the balls to get on here and say that they should stop this merger because it could hurt jobs in the UK. They shouldn't be there in the first place. So
again, well, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but these guys are working for Disney and Fox, right?
Well, I'm just saying that they had no problem with Disney. They aren't calling Disney out for owning the majority of the market share of everyone. Even Warner Bros. Discovery won't have as much of the market share as Disney will have.
Yeah, so it's a little weird coming from these guys. So I just think I think what happens is people pull celebrities aside, give them a line. They don't really do their due diligence, and then they just start saying things because they think that's the thing to say. But I can tell you that if you go really hard in the paint against the Paramount and Warner Brothers, and those two studios do merge, somebody there is going to pay attention, and they're going to be like, you know what? Let's not call Benedict Cumberbatch or Benedict Wong for anything because they didn't want this to happen.
Well, I'm just more like pissed about the double standard where they're just like sitting there saying that because it's going to hurt jobs. Yes, but in the UK. It's already and filming
the UK
in the
is hurting jobs in the US.
Hollywood.
I know, right?
You guys are part of the problem, and you're sitting there with the audacity to sit there and say what you just said. It's like it's mind blowing how out of touch and stupid you are. It hurts.
So let's talk about how we need to really rein this in. And I've said before, and I got in trouble. There's one guy he made I swear to God, he made an hour-long video about us talking about Hail Caesar. Because
Are you serious?
Yes, and he was Clownfish TV would like people to get abused by the studios to go out and slap people. No, I love Hail Caesar because that was a different time in Hollywood, and that kind of shit did happen. They had studio fixers that would go out and tell their celebrities to shut the hell up because it would hurt the picture. And I just thought it was hilarious because I think I made the joke. Obvious joke. I made the joke during the strikes. I said, well, it could be a lot worse. The studio could be sending somebody out to slap the shit out of you in the strike line because that's what they used to do.
But you never said that's what they were going to do.
I never said, obviously a joke.
Oh, I know. But they
because I'm an asshole. And I found it funny.
They should hit people. No, he did.
He did a whole fucking video about it. I swear to God. I was like, what are you on, dude? Anyway, it was just about getting clicks off our name. I mean, I know that, but
he should hang out with the person who's going to kill himself over Pokemon from
I should hang out with a person. Yeah, but we were right. We were right about strikes. No, nobody got slapped. They didn't slap the shit out of people in strikes. But we said what is going to happen is you're going to force their hand. They're going to give you a half-ass deal, and then they're going to fire half of you because they can't afford all of you. And they're going to use it as an excuse, and that's exactly what happened. So I think Hollywood, to survive, is entering its new asshole era, and they have to because they had cream puffs running the show for the last 15 years, and it's led to all of these studios collapsing because they're producing shit nobody wanted to see. They're letting their celebrities run at the mouth, and honestly, they need to kind of go back to the old studio system. Back when assholes ran Hollywood, legit assholes ran Hollywood, the studios were profitable enough that they could stand on their own 2 feet. And then when we started being nice, they had to be subsidized by other companies.
I mean, I think there's a line there too. Sometimes you could be too much of an asshole.
There's a line of Coke.
Well, there was a lot of abuse too.
Probably several.
Weinstein.
Oh yeah.
That. I don't want that to happen again. But I would like people to be a little more discerning, a little more business oriented. Instead of just telling people, yeah, go ahead, do that.
Yeah. So. Again, it's come from the Hollywood Reporter. People are shocked that the Hollywood Reporter ran an article like this. So let's look at this. This is Bring Back the Hollywood Asshole. After decades of pitching Hollywood executives, a veteran director delivers his verdict on the industry in his debut column for the Hollywood Reporter. The quarter zips have taken over, the suits have lost their nerve, and the business desperately needs its monsters back. Oh my God, we say that in 2026?
Apparently, it did.
Yeah, so this person said, this is the author, which apparently I follow this guy, Joseph Kahn. Okay, so for some reason, and I don't know why, and I apologize. He said, when I park 5 stories down past an executive's assigned space and walk into an office to find a dude in a quarter zip and box fresh Allbirds, I can tell there will be a problem before the meeting even starts. This person does not know what a movie executive is supposed to look like. This person does not dress like the movies. This person does not watch the movies. This person does not love the movies. I've been in these rooms before. After another viral music video, another festival hit, another short, I'm back in the office of some producer, executive, or studio chief being handed another free water bottle that will roll around the floor of my Tesla for the next month with all the others. Kind of reminds me of the Chipmunk movie, the first Chipmunk movie, where he got his basket, his muffin basket.
The basket. I was wondering where you're going with that. Okay,
yeah,
basket.
The muffin basket. And then, since there wasn't a deal, he didn't get the muffin basket that last time. He had his ass kicked out. But it said there were, in the old days, the last minute intel I received before these meetings with studio execs was insane. She loves strong female protagonists. Also, she adopted an Asian girl because they stay skinny. He used to drive a cab. He's weird. He might have killed a man. Good luck. I used to do that too before meetings. I would get as much information as I could on whoever I was meeting with, because you never knew what to expect. And now it's just all like tech bros running shit.
Did you do that with me?
No. No.
Anyway.
Well, I had to think about it. It's been a while. These were the giants who kept Hollywood profitable. Weirdos, maybe lunatics often, but giants, and they would never have been caught dead in their offices wearing Patagonia vests. Executives, you people reading this, deal with artists, and artists learned from movies what executives are supposed to look like. Hollywood has been sewing your costume for decades. So this is it. The whole, the jumpsuit, the satin suit. I know that they had Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. They were talking, they were going to do a movie about him.
That was hilarious.
They said these men were monsters. They were magnificent. They understood that the suit was not vanity. The suit was the point. Armor, uniform, and threat all at once. It made artists fear you, which is useful because artists are children with tax problems. Oh my God.
It's so true. See, also those 3 dumbasses trying to say about the UK and Paramount.
You show up in a quarter zip and wonder why you lack aura. The costume matters because the job matters. Many executives today want to present themselves as California casual, implying they have souls like the artists they work with. But having a soul is not your job. That's your assistant's job. Your job is to make money. Thank you. What is your name?
I just think it's funny.
Joseph Kahn. Yes, thank you, Joseph Kahn. I don't understand why Hollywood, which makes billions of dollars, doesn't run like a serious business.
I don't either. And then they keep greenlighting stuff that's so stupid. I can't tell you how many times I've seen something come across that they're going to do, and I immediately said, oh, that's not going to work. And it doesn't. Shocker.
Real money, Marvel money, the kind of money Hollywood made when it threw muscular white guys named Chris in the rubber suits and raked in billions in tickets, billions in toys, billions in theme parks. So much money the studio could dig another 5 levels down for more parking spaces. Then the money changed. COVID waved the audience away like a Disney gate guard and sent everyone home to drink from their Kirkland water bottles. The theatrical business, once the town's most merciless scoreboard, suddenly gave way to streaming, where success was no longer counted in tickets sold, but in subscribers added, hours watched, churn reduced, and whatever metric made Wall Street clap that quarter. And they paid dearly for it. All these studios blew themselves up chasing it. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're for sale. It's like, did you not see? They didn't make any money, and now they have to combine to survive.
They went broke. Well, got broke.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. I mean, it is what it is. I don't even say they're considered that. This is the choices they made were stupid. Let's go do another Terminator movie, but we're gonna make it all girls this time. Let's go do Ghostbusters, but we're gonna make it all girls, and we're gonna double down on the slapstick idiocy. And what could go wrong? It's just the level of stupid is just off the charts.
This is a pretty good
I told
summary.
You, I read it. It was really good.
Yeah, this is a pretty good summary of what happened. He said, this is when the suit came off and the executive became the executive artist, no longer disciplined by the box office. Executives started greenlighting projects that made them popular at dinner parties and Los Feliz. Luxury, beliefs, virtue signals, cultural homework masquerading as entertainment. I'm not just Hollywood, they seem to be saying. I'm awesome. Promote me. And once the executive artist took over, the bets got worse. Hollywood had already seen plenty of virtue signaling reboots explode into culture war bonfires, but instead of learning that audiences hate being assigned homework with their popcorn, the town doubled down. Yeah. Now, oh my God, he's just
I know, I love this article. It's beautiful.
Now, by the power of Vanguard, the executive artists felt entitled to imprint their progressive politics on as much Disney IP as possible. It was no longer only about the best story, the biggest star, the sharpest commercial instinct. It was also about who or what checked the right boxes.
Yes, and then they made really bad decisions. And then you can still do stuff. For years, they had things that checked the right boxes, and they had diversity and inclusion, but it was still good. And they had good stars and good concepts, and the movies were still well done, and people loved them. And then they went from that into a lot of the just dumbassery that they've gone into.
They said we need more executives to be Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. Mm-hmm. Stop pretending you're one of us. Stop trying to be one of the theater kids at the Oscars, voting for obscure movies and performances when the people just want to see Ryan Gosling talk with The Rock or The Rock before the wig.
But it was still a good movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a crowd pleaser. And that was the thing. These guys used to have an eye. I mean, sometimes they would basically you would get the artsy fartsy films if the stuff was making bank. Like you had your bread and butter, which was like, oh, let's do some musicals and some cowboy pictures and some, crime, whatever's popular, we do it. And then, okay, this Kubrick guy, maybe we'll give him some money.
Yes, because they had enough coming in from things that were going to bring money.
Right.
So they could take chances. And they don't take chances now because they don't have the luxury of taking chances now.
Yes, you buy a lottery ticket when you've already been able to buy your groceries for the week. It's like you don't just play the lottery hoping you can win money for groceries. Stop high-fiving each other when you help turn a backrooms or an obsession into a hit. Those are nice. Those are doubles. Back in the day, a double was a slow Tuesday. You cannot sell a themed toothbrush off that IP, so stop celebrating like you cleared the bases. That is actually very true. Merchandising is a huge part of the movie making machine, and a lot of the movies they're being greenlit, you can't merch, especially with cartoons. You can't merch the Tumblr shit that they were doing. They tried. Steven Universe had toys, and nobody bought them. The unions have pensions to pay. Stop fucking around. You, the executives, have the most important job in our business. You place the bets. We depend on you to feed the ecosystem, not by being more artistic than us, but by being smarter than us. Instead, some of you decide to focus on progressive social agendas for the wrong reasons. You actually believed in them. No, the only reason to replace Iron Man with a black woman is because you believe a black Iron Woman will make more money. That's the only reason to replace. Yeah.
Yes. Respectable
effort, but
damn, yes. This guy's getting canceled, but I'm here for it.
His one and only op-ed in the Hollywood Reporter. But you have confused being respected with being loved. Yes, we respect that you have the virtues of Buddha crossed with an Aaron Sorkin speech, but we love it when you feed our families. That is it. Look, people hate the business side of the arts, but it is necessary, whether it's comics or video games or animation or movies. And some of the most brutal executives out there greenlit some of the greatest movies, but they do the dirty part so the artiste doesn't have to get their hands dirty. And people don't understand it. Animation, I've talked to some people in the animation industry, and they're hard asses. They're like, this is how it fucking works. Kumbaya, whatever pays the bills. That's what we do. We figure out how to do it to pay the bills. People are like, but do you understand? This is my feelings, and I want to be seen. And they're like, fuck it. I want to get paid so I don't have to lay my people off.
Exactly.
Or get acquired by another megacorp because I can't pay the fucking bills because, we're pissing around with shit that doesn't pay. I'll fucking do it. Put me in there. I'll be the bad guy. I don't give a shit. Everybody hates me anyway, so whatever. Yeah, I know you don't. If you not start making more movies about white guys flying fighter jets, the box office will not justify the monthly gardening bill at the Paramount lot, and you will be replaced by Larry Ellison's AI or Netflix's deep learning algorithm network licensing intelligence node, aka Dan Lin. Oh my God. Part of it's pathological. Other smart people like you entered businesses where corporate machinations can make them a star. Whatever. Let's see, go down here. They said that's the lesson. We do not need a new Coppola. We need a new Robert Evans. We need a studio head constructed out of parties and vice with infinite taste and style. Someone artists feared and loved, who may have not had a soul, but they had the genius to find people who did. That's it. That is the best boss in the world. Knows how to delegate, but they find the right person for the job.
Right, find the right person, yes.
And then they tell them, you need to make money. Your job is to make money. If you don't make money, you're gone. And that was always understood for years. That was understood in every industry. If you do not help the company make money, you will not be here, because that's literally the only reason you're here. We're not giving you.
Yes, any job, you know?
Yeah. And now people are like, oh, well, I got a job because, you know, I feel like I have to be part of the community. And it's like my therapy session. It's like, no, your job is to make my job easier. And if you don't make my job easier, there's the fucking door. Mm-hmm. You know, because if I have to do it over myself, why are you here? Yeah, so this is what you need to do with your elite MBAs and high SAT scores. Get back to being a meritocracy. Drop the affections. Best, most profitable idea wins. Hire crews and staff based on excellence, not what your favorite Harvard admissions counselor would love. Build movie stars. Learn what the poors want. People in flyover states who make less than $300,000 a year. Wow, that's really reaching. You know, there's some states where they're making less than $30,000 a year, but I'm just saying, make sure those movie stars do not offend those poors by insulting Jesus or Tom Brady.
This is hilarious.
That is why the Disney executive flew to New York to slap the shit out, figuratively speaking.
Yes, be careful. They're going to make a whole video.
Figuratively speaking, to go verbally slap the shit out of Rachel Zegler because she cost them millions of dollars.
She wouldn't stop.
And if these guys keep going on about politics, they're also going to cost their studios millions of dollars. I'm just saying, like, there's a time and place for it. And I get being passionate about things or whatever, but like Mark Ruffalo, it's not affecting me. He's the Hulk in a Marvel movie, right? But like, people find him insufferable. They do. They find
he's a little dick.
Yeah, you're part.
He gives little dick energy.
You're little dick energy. It's like he doesn't have the big pickle.
No,
I thought we were all promised the big pickle.
I very much doubt he has a big pickle.
You're part of a great legacy. The movies, you know, the great American cultural export created by Jewish Eastern European garment tradesmen. Honor them by wearing expensive clothes, making expensive movies, entertaining as many people as possible, and selling millions of electric Hulk toothbrushes. Put the pickle in your mouth. It buzzes. The executive's job is to be brilliant, greedy, tasteful. The brilliant, greedy, tasteful money animal who funds the dream, and pretending otherwise is what broke the business. The business forgot it's supposed to be a hit-driven, star-driven, spectacle-driven machine, not a lifestyle brand for coastal creatives. They've been calling you a suit like it is an insult. It isn't. It's the job. Wear the suit. Be the suit. I
do like this guy quite a bit.
All right, he's a director, so he's Taylor Swift's. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. This is the problem. We keep talking about this. Like, they're not a serious business anymore. Nobody wants to make money, especially in comics, in animation. All that stuff is all kumbaya. It's like, no, these guys will be the bad guys. They'll get their hands dirty so the rest of you can fuck around and do whatever. But if you don't make money, you will fuck around and find out, because you're not gonna be able to pay the rent. You're not gonna be able to pay your salaries. Like, nobody gets paid.
People employed, and the companies will fold. And it is what it is, and that's what we keep seeing. That's why they're all folding into each other.
Yeah, and they made some huge mistakes. And if those companies had stayed the course, I'm gonna be real here. If all of these studios, that includes Paramount before the Skydance acquisition, and Warner Brothers and Disney, if they had all just focused on making the biggest hits they possibly could make, they would not be facing the problems they're facing now. They would not be collapsing into each other now, because they were too busy trying to be like, well, I don't want people to think I'm a bad guy, so here's $200 in charity, or $200 million. I'm sorry, yeah, $200. $200 million in charity. And this is what the hell happens. This
and
is
we keep saying it's not sustainable. It's going to have to course correct, and that's exactly what's happening.
And it's happening at such a shocking rate that a lot of people that didn't know better, that can't remember the before times, are getting whiplash, and they're freaking out like, what do you mean I'm not entitled to a job? You owe me. You make billions of dollars. I should get billions of dollars too. It's like, no, you're spoken a wheel. Either take the job, don't take the job, or shut the fuck up.
That's what gets me when, like, you have these, those three idiots going on about the Paramount deal. And I'm like, and how it's going to hurt UK people. And meanwhile, like I said, all the people in Hollywood aren't getting jobs. And these guys are getting paid how much money to pretend to be somebody else?
Right.
And then they have the audacity to talk about how it's going to hurt people that are paid far less than them. It's just like, then take pay cuts and make sure that people are paid better, and then it won't matter.
Yeah.
But they won't.
No, of course not. Of course not. Because it's all lip service. That's what it is. It's all lip service. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Now funding on Kickstarter, a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja.